My name is Elena, and 4 months ago, I thought my life was over. I still remember the sound. A sharp crash. Glass falling. The world spinning. But the part that hurts the most is the memory of my husband, Adrian, shouting my name through the car speaker. His voice was loud and scared. It still echoes in my mind at night. Let me start a little earlier. Adrian and I live in a small town near the coast. I am 31. He is 46. Yes, there is an age gap, but it never felt strange to us. He is calm and patient, and I used to joke that he carried peace inside his pockets the way other men carried keys. Before the accident, our days were simple. Coffee in the morning. Work. Dinner together. Jokes about our dog, Toby, who always tried to steal food from the kitchen. I felt safe with him. Completely safe. But one cold winter evening, everything changed. The roads were icy. I had stayed late at my friend's house and was driving home alone. I called Adrian because my hands were shaking on the steering wheel. Not from the cold, but from the fear that comes when the road feels like glass. I'm almost home, I told him. Just talk to me. I'm right here, he said. His voice was soft, the way it always is when I am scared. I turned a corner, and suddenly a car slid toward me. Too fast. Too close. There was no time to think. The next moment, everything went white. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed with a machine beeping beside me. Pain moved through my whole body like slow fire. I could not sit up. I could not lift my arms. I felt trapped in myself. Then I saw Adrian. He looked tired, like he had not slept in days. His eyes were red. He stood the moment he saw me open my eyes and took my hand very gently, like I might break. "You're here," he whispered. Thank God. Those first days were confusing. I drifted in and out of sleep. Doctors came in. Nurses checked numbers on machines. But the thing I remember most is this: Adrian never left. He worked on his laptop beside my bed. He brought me warm socks. He held water for me so I could drink. He even learned how to help me do the exercises my therapist taught me. He watched every movement, every instruction, so he could help me at home later. People say love is big and dramatic. But real love, I learned, is quiet. It sits beside you when you are too weak to sit up. It ties your hair back when you cannot lift your arms. It learns a whole new world of medical words just to understand what the doctors are saying. After a month, the hospital let me go home. I was still weak, still hurt, but I felt lucky to be alive. Lucky to have him. And slowly, my body healed. My bones grew stronger. The pain faded. I gained back weight. I started to see myself again in the mirror. And I felt ready to be close to my husband again. But that was when something changed. Every time I touched him, he pulled back. Every time I tried to kiss him, he gave an excuse. He looked at me like I was precious, but also like I was breakable. Like he was afraid of me. I tried to ignore it at first, but the truth was growing inside me. Something was wrong. And the more he pulled away, the more I wondered a question that scared me. What if I survived the accident, but our marriage didn't? I kept telling myself not to worry. People heal in different ways. That is what my doctor said. That is what my therapist said. And I tried to believe it. But at night, when the house was quiet and Toby slept by the door, the thoughts grew louder. Why won't he touch me? Why does he look away when I change my clothes? Why does he act like I might disappear if he holds me too tight? One afternoon, I was walking through a small shop downtown. I saw a black lace lingerie set hanging on a rack. Soft. Beautiful. Strong. The kind of thing that makes you stand a little taller when you wear it. For the first time in months, I felt a spark inside me. A little voice saying, "You can feel beautiful again." So I bought it. I told myself this would be the moment we finally got back to us. That night, Adrian was sitting in bed with his laptop. I stood in the doorway for a moment, breathing slowly, feeling my heart beat too fast. My hands were cold. I hadn't felt nervous like that in years. When he looked up, his eyes widened. "Elena, wow." I walked toward him and climbed onto the bed. His hands touched my waist, soft and warm. I kissed his neck. I could feel him react. I felt hope. And then, like a candle in the wind, everything changed. His body froze. His breath stopped. His hands dropped from my waist. "I don't think we should do this yet," he said. His voice was shaky. Not calm. Not patient. Just scared. "I'm fine," I said. "The doctors said it's okay. I'm healed, Adrian." But he shook his head. "We shouldn't rush. You're still recovering." I felt something break inside me. It wasn't loud. It was quiet, but sharp. "I'm not made of glass," I whispered. He looked away and stood up. He walked to the bathroom and turned on the shower. I sat there on the bed, still wearing the lace, feeling stupid and small. I cried before the water even started running. The weeks after that felt strange. I tried to act normal, but I felt a space between us. A space that kept growing. We still had breakfast. We still watched shows at night. But there was a wall now. And the worst part was, I didn't know how to climb over it. I started to ask myself questions late at night. Does he see my scars and feel disgust? Did he lose attraction to me? Is he only with me now because he feels responsible? Every fear grew bigger in my mind. Then one evening, something quiet but heavy happened. I dropped a plate in the kitchen. It didn't break, but the sound made him jump like someone fired a gun. He stood frozen, his hands shaking a little. It hit me then. My accident didn't break only my bones. It broke something in him. I didn't want to say it out loud, but I felt it. He was traumatized. Maybe even more than I was. Still, part of me didn't want to believe it. Part of me wanted a simple answer. Something I could fix. But the truth is never simple. One night, after another failed attempt to be close, I sat alone on the couch, hugging my knees to my chest. The house was dark. The only sound was the clock on the wall. I whispered into the quiet air, I don't want to lose him. And for the first time since the accident, I realized that maybe my body was healed, but our marriage still needed healing too. And I needed to find the courage to ask for help. The night it all came crashing out of me started quietly. Adrian and I were getting ready for bed. The room was dim, and Toby was already asleep at our feet. I watched Adrian pull the blankets up, move his pillows, and settle into his usual spot. He looked tired again. Not the kind of tired you fix with sleep. A deeper kind. I lay beside him and stared at the ceiling. My heart was beating so loudly I wondered if he could hear it. I took a slow breath and rolled toward him. I wrapped my arms around his waist and rested my head on his shoulder. He went still, but he didn't pull away. Adrian, I whispered. Can we talk? He nodded, but his jaw tightened. I spoke softly. I didn't want to sound angry. I didn't want to scare him. We've been through a lot. And I think we need help. Together. Maybe we could try therapy. Not because something is wrong with us, but because I love you. And I don't want hidden pain to hurt us anymore. For a moment, he didn't move. Not even a breath. Then 10 seconds passed. And it felt like the world was holding its breath too. Suddenly his whole body shook. And he cried. I had seen this man cry only twice, at our wedding, and the first time I said I love you. But this time, the tears came fast. They fell into my hair and onto the sheets. His hands covered his face as if everything he had been holding inside finally broke open. I'm sorry, he kept saying. I'm so sorry. I held him tighter. Don't apologize. I'm here. It's okay to cry. He cried for almost an hour. I cried with him. Every time he breathed in, it sounded like he was trying not to fall apart again. But he did. And I stayed right there. When he finally calmed down, he tried to speak. That night, he said, voice breaking, I thought I lost you. For 15 minutes, I was sure you were gone. Then the doctors said your injuries were severe. I kept thinking, what if you never wake up? What if I come home alone for the rest of my life? He wiped his face with the back of his hand. And then the days in the ICU. Elena, you were barely alive. I've never been so scared. I felt like the world was closing around me. There was nothing I could do but wait. I couldn't save you. I touched his cheek and felt it trembling. He continued, when you came home, you needed me. And I needed to keep you safe. I knew you were healing, but my mind, it kept showing me the accident. The sound of your scream. The silence after. And when you touched me again, I felt that fear all over. So you pulled away, I said softly. He nodded, eyes full of shame. I know you're okay now. I know it. But something inside me keeps telling me you're fragile. Like if I touch you too much, you'll break. I took his hand. You don't have to protect me from love, I said. We can protect each other. The next day, we agreed to start therapy. Both together and separately. And slowly, things changed. We learned to talk again. To touch again. To be a couple again, not a patient and a caretaker. Surprisingly, healing felt warm, not heavy. We laughed more. We kissed more. We found our way back to the kind of closeness that once came so naturally. And yes, we found our way back to intimacy too. I won't share details, but I will say this, it felt like coming home after a long winter. Our marriage isn't perfect. No marriage is. But it's real. And we're working on it every day, together. Sometimes love is loud. Sometimes it's quiet. And sometimes, love is two people learning how to be brave again.
What do you think helps couples heal after a big trauma? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. For more English stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Key vocabulary from the story are fragile, severe, distant, tremble, and recover. Fragile means something can be easily broken or damaged. Severe describes a situation that is very serious or intense. Distant refers to someone who doesn't feel emotionally close. Tremble means to shake slightly, often from fear, cold, or strong emotion. Recover means to get better after an injury or an illness. Lesson of the day. Precious. Precious means very important or special. Example from the story. He looked at me like I was precious, but also like I was breakable. More examples. My grandmother gave me a precious ring that I keep safe. Time with family is precious to me. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share. You can watch the next story here or explore our playlist for more inspiring stories. And don't forget to subscribe. More interesting stories for learning English are coming soon.